Hi, mystery writers. Welcome to Write a Killer Mystery. My name's Sarah Altair. This is where we learn to make a good mystery great. And today we're going to be talking about choosing your mystery title. It's really the make or break choice for your book. First, I want to thank my Patreon supporters who support this series on YouTube and also support my writing. And if you would like to be a patron, there's a link in the description below. All right, so Shakespeare's famous quote, "What's in a name?" That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. And that's true for names, but it's not really true for titles because book titles have the power to engage your readers. Um, your novel title creates a connection with the readers. It's one of the very first things they see. A title tells a story, like The Spy Who Came In from the Cold. Um, so, the name you choose for your story has a powerful influence on attracting readers for your book. Um, so, a mini story, like a title that tells a story, is one way to attract readers, and we're going to talk about several ways that you can put together a title for your book. Uh, because choosing a title for your book impacts the buyer's first impression. It's like brand awareness, genre targeting, all wrapped into one as the title of your book. A good title is a key to getting readers to choose your book. Because the title is so important, many authors wait until they finish their entire novel before they create a title. And they may have a working title while the novel is in progress, but save the actual name of the book until they complete the manuscript. So, what's in a name? And the title of your book may not change the story, but it can change the potential buyer's interest. The title is one of the selling points of your book, and it's a major selling point. Along with the cover, it creates that first impression of your book before they've even opened it up. They have a title that grabs their imagination and a cover that intrigues. All right. A title that is interesting, catchy, and relevant to your story has a better chance to get a reader to buy your book. Um, the Tucker Max at Scribe stresses the selling potential of a title. The title of your book is by far the most important book marketing decision you'll make. Okay, that's pretty important, isn't it? The most important. So, memorable titles also help readers connect the title with your name. Your author name is your brand, and when readers associate your name with the book you write, you build brand awareness. Just a little marketing tip. So, authors who offer more than one book benefit by creating titles similar in format and concept. So, if you're starting a series, you really want to think about how you're going to arrange the words in your title because you want to reflect that in your series. So, what are some features of a good title? You have several options for creating a book title, but all good book titles have elements in common. One, it grabs attention. Two, it's easy to remember. Three, it indicates the genre or the theme of your story. And four, it's easy to say. People aren't going to stumble over the words in your title. These guidelines make your title recognizable targeted towards your genre, and easy for someone to remember when they recommend your book to someone else. So if the title's easy to remember, it's easy for them to say, I read this good book, and the title. Oh, so it's easy for the person to whom they recommend the book to remember that title as well. So you want to get the essence of your book and then add words with emotional hooks. Finding the right title for your book is a brainstorming process. Um, um, so start large. Think of as many titles as possible. And this takes time, and you can, all the time you're writing your story, you can keep adding title ideas. Uh, you can work the process over at least a few days, if not weeks. And every time you think of a title possibility, write it down. Create a huge brainstorming list for titles for your book. And while you're at this stage of compiling ideas, don't judge. Just add those title ideas to your list. Publisher iUniverse suggests examining titles in your genre as a sixth step for looking at your successful competitors. But looking at your competitors and seeing what they do and how they title their books is a good way to get ideas for titling your book, because knowing how successful authors in your genre use these titles to sell books is a good guideline for how to think about framing your title. So make a list of potential titles, start your title idea list while you're writing, and keep adding to that list as you get new ideas. And once you have a sense of the titles that sell your genre, brainstorm titles for your manuscript. Is your story steamy or sweet, action-packed, or literary, dark and chilling, or lighthearted and cozy? Think of words and phrases that capture the tone of your manuscript. And go through your manuscript looking for phrases, including dialogue, that reflect the essence of your story. You can find a title right inside your book. And think of your story theme or major conflict. I know many of Philip Kerr's books are titled from something actually within the story. Also, you can look at quotes from poetry or the Bible or songs that suit your novel. So those are also inspirations for titling your novel. The idea is to gather as many title possibilities as you can and then play with that title collection. Change the word order, just move the words around and see what happens. Add an action verb like kick or kill or kiss. Add an emotionally charged adjective like deadly or ravished or irresistible. Oh, you can also think of your protagonist role, your detective, the stumbling detective as an idea, right? Also, the antagonist role can work as well as a title idea. And another idea possibility is the location. If the setting sets is an important part of your story, you can use the setting for title ideas. So at the end of this process, you're going to have a long list of possible titles. One thing you want to do is make sure that the title you use is not already popular. Do a quick search to make sure. You don't want your book getting lost in searches to an already popular book. That won't help you, so do that double check. All right. So now that you have this huge list, you want to narrow down your list Brainstorming is playful and fun, but once you have a big title list, you need to narrow down the options. So, review the titles of successful books in your genre and evaluate which of your titles best suit your genre. So, there's also tools just for fun that you may want to play with. They spark ideas for your title when the muse doesn't show up. But keep in mind that doing the work is still the best way to create a title that works for your potential readers. So, test your title. Before you make your final decision, get feedback. Use vehicles to test your title. Friends and family, you can start with them and give them your narrowed down list and see what their responses were. Instant feedback may not always be the best marketing judgment, but it gives you an idea, especially if those people that you ask read in your genre. And definitely, if you have a reader fan base and you have an email list, send them a survey. See what your readers, they already like your work, see how they respond to the titles. And you can use something like SurveyMonkey to set up a survey and collect what your readers feel would be the best title for your next book. Your novel title is a first level marketing tool. So use that brainstorming process, guide your decision by your novel genre, and then test for feedback before you make that final decision. It is the forever name choice. Yes, you can go back and change the title of your book, but it's a big process, and you're going to have to go through the same whole process all over again. So doing this at the beginning can really help. Your title choice has the power to lead readers to your book. And it's the first thing they see. So spending time creating title choices, narrowing them down, and testing will benefit your book sales, and readers will remember your book. So there's a lot of things to think about, and it's not a light decision. So be sure to take your time and work through. Now I'm doing that on my current work has a working title, but I have a list right now of about 20 titles, and I know it's going to get longer before I start narrowing it down. So it's quite a process, so I encourage you to do it. Also, I want to encourage you to take a look at Audible. They are a sponsor for Write a Killer Mystery, and you can click the link and get a 30-day free trial. And as I've suggested before, listening to narrators read books is a great way to understand how stories work and helps prompt ideas for your stories. So, thank you. That's it for today, and I will see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe and push that little notification bell, and I'll see you next week.